Hey, how's it going? Another video from the Free College. Today we're going to do something fun, a little different. I'm going to go over just some life advice. So here's what I learned, some laws of the underground. You might know what some of this stuff means, but in my life I've met all different kinds of people, and these are just some underground rules to live by that you don't often hear about, that you can run into trouble if you don't follow it. But so rule number one, never welch on a bet. And that means if you make a bet with somebody and you say, I'm going to bet you $100 that this team's going to win, and you decide you're not going to pay, that means that you just welched on a bet. So a person who doesn't pay up when they make a bet and they lose is basically the lowest of the low, okay? And in the past, that was literally a call for violence, meaning if you went into the wrong place with the wrong people and you made the wrong bet and you didn't pay and you tried to leave, you wouldn't be able to get out of there without incurring some violence towards yourself. So that's it used to be an important rule to live by. I haven't been out much, but that used to be important. So my advice, if you want to stay in the good, don't bet if you don't have the money, like kind of like if you don't have the money, it's nice to window shop. It's nice to dream. But if you don't have the money for something, don't buy it. Don't try to buy it if you don't have the money. So if you don't have the money, don't make the bet. And because literally, if you don't pay up when you lose, that's really bad. It's the worst of the worst. Next one, not a lot of people follow this, but don't use addictive drugs. And the problem with this is you're a liability to everybody around you when you become addicted to something that you can't stop, right? So I mean, addiction comes in many forms, and this can go for any addiction, I mean, I wouldn't say cigarette smoking, whatever, but I would say, a person who's got a gambling addiction, or has a cocaine addiction or a crack addiction or all the above or whatever. They're a liability. So don't this to be streetwise, hey, if I'm going to dig myself in a hole I'll never get out of, I'm not going to start digging that hole. So it's a hustle, addictive drugs are a hustle. We're not talking about marijuana or mushrooms or anything. We're talking about addictive substances. We're talking about the serious ones and the serious addictions. So the hustlers, they know you don't want to deal with addicts if you don't have to. So try to keep away from that stuff. The next one is obey the rules at a strip club, okay? Now, there's different kinds of... I've never actually been in a strip club, and I know it's hard to believe, but I've never been in one. I like to stay away from those places, but I know the rules. There's some that are partially nude, some are fully nude, and some have different levels of you can put your hands on a woman to, hug her or not, or let's say whatever. So there's different levels of attention that is being given and received. So every club's different and every place is different, and you just want to know and get acquainted with what the heck is going on, and know that if you get messed up and you cross the line, somebody's going to go after you. And you don't know what kind of people are around you in those places. So if you get a little too close to the wrong person who is being fed a lot of nonsense to get money by somebody in that club, the dynamics don't work out good, and that person is whack. So it's just not a good outcome. So entertainment is one thing, but when you cross those lines, this is an underground rule violation, and you should never do that. So I don't know any horror stories from these things, but I just know from people that I've met and talk to, these are things that you need to know. And the last thing is nothing is free. So, I mean, like this content is free, but at the same time, like Google knows from their data now that you watched it. I don't know why they care, but there's like always something there's always strings attached to something. There's nothing's free. So it's not important to see that nothing is free as important as it is to know what you're getting into. Nothing is free means like look for what's attached and just really make a good decision before you make a decision. So anyway, I mean, there's more to this stuff and everything, but I just want to give some people a guide rope growing up in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff like that. These are things that some street smarts. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good one.